Welcome back to Twin Tarot. I'm David.
And I'm Gary.
And today we're going to talk about vacation spots.
Yes, we should go on vacation.
And exciting locales that don't normally leap to mind as places that you want to go to for vacation. Say, North Korea.
North Korea would be great.
How about Russia?
Russia would be great.
China?
Mainland China would be great.
How about Venezuela?
Venezuela, I heard they have good steaks there. That would be great.
Maybe Saudi Arabia.
Saudi Arabia's got the biggest sand trap ever of any golf course made.
Exactly. Now, why would we want to go to this cornucopia of amazing places? What do they all have in common? None of them have extradition treaties to the U.S. Oh. Not so sure about Venezuela, but the other ones I'm pretty darn sure they don't.
I thought maybe it was the waters.
It could be that
the
too.
local water is just so pure and fresh and clean.
So if you're going to be a president in exile, driven to be in exile by the trumped up fake witch hunt charges brought against you, which of those countries might you want to go to?
Well, we don't even know if that he's actually going to go to them.
That's true.
We're speculating that he is going to flee like crazy after the election.
So we're looking at, the question comes up. Will Donald Trump flee? Will he flee to a non-extradition country? Most people, he's going to go to Russia. You know what? Putin's health isn't so great. His longevity doesn't look really strong, and Putin might be done with Trump. If Trump doesn't get elected, Putin has no need for Trump.
Mm-hmm. But they're great friends. Yeah. They talk to each other all the time.
And it's kind of a one-way friendship there. The window's closing on Donald Trump getting out of the country to avoid a criminal prosecution. And mostly because his health is deteriorating. And what good is he? You know, you've got this guy that's babbling nonsense and defecating, soiling himself every chance you can get.
Wow, Putin really has gone south, hasn't he?
I could see a country taking him in so they have a bargaining chip when they sell him back. But, if you're doing it because, Donald Trump cut you some favors or something like that, he's not really bringing a whole lot to the table.
Yeah, unless he's still got some of those documents that he could spirit out of the country. But he's going to have to dig up
Ivana to get them, to get his gold bars and his documents out of that... out of her chest there.
Yeah, so we've had a lot of people speculating in the comments, is he going to flee when he loses the election? So let's take a look. In the past, we've kind of gotten that sort of, yes.
I get he kind of daydreams about it, but nothing that actually, and maybe he starts making plans on it, but nothing where he actually pulls the trigger. So let's take a look at the energy of after the election loss, and with criminal charges looming, will Donald Trump make an attempt to flee the country?
Okay. That's a very specific question.
Yes.
I thought you were going
now, it doesn't mean he'll succeed, and we may never hear about it if he fails.
Yes.
But will he at least, make that attempt, that good old attempt? For entertainment purposes only.
Give it a good old college try.
Significance. The signifier card is the Four of Wands. The first thing is, who's going to take me in? He's got to look for the country that'll take him in. And the difficulty in getting him there because he's going to be watched. The Secret Service's job is not to prevent Donald Trump from fleeing the country. Their job is to keep him safe.
Yes.
That doesn't mean they can't report on his actions and what he's doing, but I don't think they're there to physically stop them. They're not parole officers. They're not law enforcement officers. They're there to protect the President of the United States.
Or in this case, the former president.
But the former President of the United States. It's crossed by the burden card. He's
a burden.
I'm saying it's not so much that the court... I think as the court cases get harder, he contemplates it more. But I think him getting out of the country is much more difficult now. But that being said, he might have agreements in place. He might have like a handshake agreement in place about getting out. We did favors. I cut you deals. Your end of the deal is to help me get out. So he does have people that would help
There's
him.
A very interesting card about ready to pop out. There it is.
So in the past is the Devil card. These agreements would be based on good faith or non-good faith agreements in the past, where Donald Trump's worried about himself, secrets that he sold, or stuff like that could drive to that, to a country.
Yeah, it's
taking
funny
him
because
in.
those are the same. That's basically the same couple as.
No, it's
the lover's card.
Yeah, the lover's card is the same one. Current situation, if he tries to make it out, it's about money. It's about money and basically buying his way out, offering things of value, whether it's money, national secrets, arms, stuff like that. And again, I think it's an agreement that stuff that's happened in the past.
Yeah, to me, it's like if you want to flip that over, like you said, Dave said there's agreements in the past, and it's people who have kind of chained themselves to Trump and his actions. To me, as soon as I saw this, I was thinking Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
The family legacy. They threw a whole bunch of money at Jared.
Yeah, exactly. There's way too much coziness going on between that.
And we're just one big happy family here.
Yeah, it's kind of like oligarchs protecting other oligarchs. He's done us a favor. We can do that. They could shove him in a palace somewhere where none of them ever go. He's literally the crazy uncle that you put in the attic.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
Or the Four Seasons.
The lesson to be learned is the Nine of Swords. He's got a lot of anxiety. It's also going to cause some anxiety for whoever takes him in. But I think he's suffering a lot of anxiety with this because things aren't working out. He didn't win the election. That was his goal number one. And if he doesn't win the election, getting out's going to be a real challenge here. Even though he's got things set up, can he execute? Well, basically, can I trust the people who I've made illicit agreements with in the past?
Yep.
What's going to force them to honor those agreements now?
Well, because I'm a star.
Yeah. The outcome is the star card. Falling star? Can he get out? Yeah, he could. He might still be able to make it. He might be able to get out there, again, try and reinvent himself as the president in exile. But this is also the calm after the storm that other countries, they may not want to take him in. It really is, to me, what is Donald Trump worth? Is he worth the headache of having him in your country?
Yeah.
Now, honoring your agreements that you've made with him in the past over illicit deals versus the headache of getting this guy into your country. The trick is going to be for him to get out of this country. And don't worry about passports. If MBS says you can go into Saudi Arabia, I don't think anybody at the customs agency in Saudi Arabia is going to say, oh no, Mr. Trump, I'm sorry, you can't come in, because MBS will take him to the side and execute him and like his 5 coworkers for not for wasting his time.
That'll be can I speak to your supervisor moment?
Yeah. In a, the way that Saddam Hussein would have spoke to a supervisor.
The
One of the benefits of being a king and a dictator. You're going to make up your own rules.
one of the things I found interesting was the thought kind of occurred to me is Netanyahu and Trump have been kind of cozy buddies. Where Trump doesn't want him to end this war that he's got going on in Gaza because Trump is convinced that he's going to win, and Netanyahu's kind of hitched his wagon to him. Because when I was looking at the Ten of Pentacles, it could also be, I guess, maybe going to Israel. But the problem is like Putin, Netanyahu's really on a rocky, unstable surface, and he might not be around. So Trump's starting to lose world leaders that would actually consider supporting him and bringing him in.
Yeah.
Although I don't know if Israel has an extradition.
I think they do. Again, the other one that was interesting that I hadn't really thought of before was when he and Elon were talking on that failed Twitter podcast.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, if things don't work out, we can always go to Venezuela. They have low crime over there. It's like, wow, did somebody just say the silent part out loud?
Yeah, no kidding. Clearly he thought about it. So he's been thinking about it.
Why would that even be on your mind?
Yeah. Okay, so where is he going to go? Okay.
You should read about, is he going to go to Venezuela?
Venezuela?
So that goes back, we were watching Mission Impossible in the late 80s when they did a reboot of it. And I was watching with my roommate, and they were trying to come up with a small Central American country, and they called it Venezuela. And it's like, Okay, got it. Nicaragua and Venezuela were causing
Is
issues.
that what they mashed together? I would have never guessed.
I know, right? This mythical country of Venezuela. It was a running joke for a while, but yeah, Venezuela. Who knew?
Must be on the border of South America and Central America if it's Venezuela. Right?
Exactly. So I'm kind of curious if he will make a run for the border,
Okay, so I'm gonna
the southern border.
I'm gonna do a four-carder. Is he heading south? And then I guess maybe we can look to see.
Well, let's ask if he's going to Venezuela.
Okay, is he going to Venezuela?
Just ask.
Okay, is
The
he
people
going?
want to know.
Is he going to Venezuela?
Venezuela is here again.
Okay.
How many cards are upside down?
Okay, so I'm just gonna do a four-carder on this because then we can also
Sure,
do.
sure.
So over my dead body.
Maybe that's not really an option anymore.
Yeah. Yeah. The foundation is the death card. I guess you could say it's like, well, if my presidential run doesn't work out, if that dies, I need to find some balance here to escape this blue wave behind me. Is Venezuela. So we got the moon card. We got to keep it a mystery. Chaos. Yeah, that's Trump's. And then we've got the legacy card. Okay, so I'm kind of thinking that if the leader of Venezuela is like, no, over
that's
my
what I'm
dead
getting.
body, there's too much I have to balance with you coming over here. I've got enough problems
Yeah.
internally, you know.
I've already stolen the election a couple times. I can't be bringing you in here.
Yeah, it's, you know, you're going to bring too much chaos for my country.
If he brings in, the United States starts coming in with sanctions. And that's the last thing he needs.
Mm-hmm. Why don't you go someplace where there's lots of money that they can throw at you?
Yeah.
Because frankly, there's so many unknowns, and
Trump's a Looney Tune.
yeah,
so.
you're losing your mind, so you're no use to me. That's kind of what Dave was talking about earlier. Is what things of value you're bringing, and the things you're bringing is lunacy and nominal amounts of money. No thanks. I don't think it's going to be Venezuela.
All right, I'm going to look at his boyfriend, Kim Jong-un.
Oh,
Will he
Lord.
go to North Korea? I got the King of Pentacles, the World card, the Fool card, the Six, and the Queen of Pentacles. Wow. Okay, so kind of just generally speaking, he wants to go where he's talking. He wants to go to a new place, somewhere outside of the U.S., somewhere around the world, internationally speaking, where maybe he's loved and adored. Queen of Pentacles, where he's valued. I don't think despite the love affair
Yes.
between the letters that Kim Jong-un shared with Donald Trump, it would be, if he does go to North Korea, it would be foolish of him to do it. It would be a coup for North Korea to get him. An absolute coup. But I don't think that's where Donald Trump wants to go. And he also screwed Kim Jong-un out of
Yes.
several $1 million. So why would Kim Jong-un, fooled me once, you ruined your chance. You know, when you fooled me and ripped me off, I closed off my world to you. We were boyfriend, girlfriend at the time. But you know what? You're not really worth it. So I don't think Kim Jong-un's going to take him in. Although, that would have been a solid play if Donald Trump had paid him back.
Yeah, I think Trump's just fooling himself if he thinks they've got a great relationship.
Well, given the food shortages for their people, this is what he would be eating.
yeah.
Here's some flowers. Everybody else has to eat grass, but I'll give you flowers.
Oh boy. Okay. How about if I do
You
China?
don't bring me flowers anymore.
Okay, we'll look at China. I want to save Saudi Arabia for last. I just have a hunch
Yeah.
that'll end the reading.
Let's go to China.
China. Dun, dun,
President
dun.
Xi.
Yes, he's a smart man.
Xi Jinping.
I wonder how they're liking his tariffs.
I know, right?
to
No,
bring
he's
him
talking
in.
about doing 2,000% tariffs on Chinese vehicles. I'm sure he'll be really popular with old ladies.
Okay, so Trump's going to manifest his old magic here. I'll go visit my friend Xi Jinping, and well, you know those tariffs that are on the table. We could just sort of take those.
Let's
off.
just pretend that little war never happened.
Here's my bias coming through. Okay, got the Queen of Wands. You know, just the messaging that you have done on China, just the anti-Chinese rhetoric. You know, are you really bringing anything of value? My country's already pretty prosperous. see, the Hierophant. I'm just gonna.
That's a major economy.
Yeah, no kidding. So Trump's gonna try and bring his Xi Jinping. He's got his Trump magic, but the problem is,
who's that and who's that?
well, that's Biden
And
Harris.
yep,
Yeah,
it's underneath the reading and central to the reading.
yeah. It's
What is Xi Jinping worried about?
Yeah.
Who's he more worried about? I think he's worried about.
well, yeah. I think he got three allies or three people he's worried about. He could be worried about his relationship with the United States.
Yep.
He could be worried about his relationship with Russia.
Yep.
Or how's Russia going to take this? And how's my own government going to take this? Because, you've been out there slamming us with tariffs and trying to destabilize our economy. And, the government basically supports a lot of that economy, through favorable loans and basically oligarchy style competition levels. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything in here that leaps out at me that, yeah, you're coming here. This is a great landing spot for you. It'd be more of a political landmine if we took you in.
China plays a long game. So if China felt like taking Trump in would advance their long game, they would do it. But right now, Biden might have warned them about it, and they probably don't want to deal with Harris either because they're looking at what's in their best interest for their country. Because, maybe they take him in if that can get rid of tariffs, for instance. But China has a really much different than the United States, much different than Trump especially. China, they don't mind waiting 50 years to watch a plan hatch out. They've got time, and they play a long game on that one. So they wouldn't take Trump in for a short-term win. They would take Trump in if they thought they would get a long-term win out of it. Mm-hmm. If they get a short-term benefit too, that's even better. But given that they really, really want to annex Taiwan and bring Taiwan back into it, the last thing they need to do is aggravate the U.S. any more than it's aggravated.
Yeah, Trump's not much of a poker chip for them.
No.
And, it's there's no way they're going to get...
There's no value with him.
Yeah, exactly. There's nothing in it for them. At least nothing that I can see. I mean, yeah, okay, so once again, does he bring documents with him? Yeah, the Chinese would like that.
Sure.
And the Russians might like that.
But at the same time, those documents have aged, and now they don't know, maybe like the battle plan for the U.S. invading Iran, which is one of the things that Trump was waving around. The U.S. has probably developed new battle plans. So if Trump comes up with a battle plan for, how the U.S. would defend Taiwan, is that even of any value to China anymore? Because they're going to think, well, this is probably outdated. This is probably no longer good. So it's like spoiled milk, because milk well past the shelf life.
Yeah.
All right. So Russia. Mr. Putin.
Yes, Comrade Kamala. What would she think of that?
Yeah.
I call her Comrade Kamala.
Because I want to be a Russian. Well, how's Putin going to do? 6 of Swords, going across, going out of troubled waters to calmer shores.
Yeah, don't bring your troubles to my calmer shores.
Exactly. 8 of Coins, 10 of
Cups. Oh, but we're a happy family.
And celebration.
We can drink Kool-Aid together.
Trump wants to go to Russia. Reunited with Daddy and all of those beautiful Russian women that he's been around there. No, I think he's trying to hammer out a deal if Kamala wins to get over there. No, you know what? For something like this, Trump wanted to be a businessman. He wanted to build this Trump Tower in Russia. Michael Cohen testified to that. This is where Trump really would like to have gone. So I would say there's an outside chance that happens. But here's the thing. Underneath it all is the Hierophant, the government. If he was planning on going to Russia and now there's a revolution and Putin's no longer in power, people are celebrating the demise of Putin. All of a sudden, Russia, they're not going to be overly welcoming of Trump there. And it's going to play against the new government that comes in. Because even if the first government is many a reader has said may not be the Democratic one. It's just kind of an interim one before they have elections. They don't need to bring the ire of the United States down because the United States is probably going to be helping with negotiations with the war in Ukraine. So I think that's what it is. That Six of Swords is, yeah, we're not taking you. We're trying to negotiate a peace process with Ukraine. The last thing we need to do is screw the pooch on that one by taking in a criminal ex-president into our country. And, it would be one of those things where they might release like 20 U.S. political prisoners that are being held in Russia as spies as a good faith motion to get these peace negotiations going on. The last thing they need to do is then take Trump in there and undo all the goodwill that they've tried to build up.
Yeah, to me, as soon as you threw the Hierophant card, it's just like, oh yeah, well, Putin's his government is shaky right now because of the whole Ukraine war. He might not be around to welcome Trump into his happy home life. So we're going to look at Saudi Arabia.
Saudi Arabia, la 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 la.
Okay, it's the Sword of Truth. We have very strict rules and laws in Saudi Arabia.
Yes, you steal, you get your hand cut off with
Yes,
the sword.
indeed.
You speak illy of MBS, we chop your head off. But there's a king here.
Yes, and Trump has been very supportive of Saudi Arabia.
That was your current situation card.
Yes.
Looking for my way out.
Yep. The ship. There's a lot of ships coming in that can take me to Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
Looking out in the future.
And he's got business interests in there with the live golf.
Yep. And I can bring things of value to Saudi Arabia.
This is looking like a winner so far.
Yeah. You got Jared Kushner's got his billions.
$2 billion hedge fund for a guy who's never managed a hedge fund before.
Yeah. Trump said, I got you a lot of weaponry.
Now, just to clarify something, Trump with the military equipment. Just to clarify, that $2 billion is a hedge fund. It's not Jared Kushner's personal piggy bank.
Yeah.
He gets paid $25 million a year, from what I understand, to manage it, plus a commission of like 0.5% or 6% of the performance or something like that. So Jared's getting $40 to $50 million a year managing that fund.
Yeah, and he doesn't. That's not really what he does, right? It's not like there are better people out there than Jared Kushner for that.
I could run a hedge fund.
Yeah,
it would be called the index fund.
And then they clarify our page of swords. All the messaging and defending Trump has done of Saudi Arabia.
This is also the spy in the camp card. So if you've given top secret documents,
and that's the one that made me smile because I saw it as I was starting to do the deal. Is once again, that's what I was saying. As soon as I saw that card, I was thinking Saudi Arabia because all the money that Jared Kushner's been getting from the Saudi Arabian hedge fund there, and it's kind of a Mideast deserty kind of look there. Yeah, I just have a hunch that if he goes, he's looking at Saudi Arabia as his number one destination.
Yeah, I think so. He would have had some other choices, but this one's kind of...
That Ten of Pentacles, as soon as I see it, that's the first thing that comes to my mind.
All right, I'm going to throw one last 4-card spread.
Oh, okay.
Does he make it?
Dun, dun, dun.
No, we talked about, does he want to? Does he make it out of the country to Saudi Arabia?
Yes.
With the intent of not coming back.
Okay,
having a good time here. Why would I want to come home now?
Exactly. Top off those cups of coffee, folks. Let's see what it says.
Little 4-carder. Does he make it?
Does he make it?
Ace of Pentacles. That's a strong push towards. Yeah, it might be he makes it on the first time. If he doesn't make it the first time, this hedge does mean you have more opportunities to try again. Mm-hmm. So I think he's going to make an honest effort. 8 of Coins, evaluating your options. How do I get there? It's kind of like, how do I get there? Do I go by boat? Do I go by plane? Do I go by submarine? Do I go by high-speed rail? Not California high-speed rail, because that's not going to be available.
Do I go to Venezuela? Do I go to North Korea? Do I go to China?
Planning. He's in a planning. The planning of it. The Devil card.
Yeah. Saudi Arabia's been tied to him.
Yeah. I'm asking, does he make it? It's kind of telling me it's like he thinks this is his best bet. He's making plans. He's reaching out. He's had previous deals with those. You owe me. It's time to pay me back. Does he make it? I think he's going to give it a shot. Does he get caught? Maybe.
Maybe it's just too early to tell.
It's possible that it may not maybe too early. If I was going to say does he make it, I'm going to say yes. He's going to make multiple attempts, like 2 attempts to get there, because that's just where he knows he's going to end up.
And I'm going to pull a secret card.
And if this is more saying that they're not answering if he's going to make it, it's like this is the one where he pushes. He's going to like, hey, how about this? How about I come out and visit business related? Oh, you know what this is telling me? This is how he makes it out. If assuming that he makes the run for it and he's successful, it's business related. Now we have business interests. I've had this trip planned for a while. He doesn't tell you the dark secrets behind it. It's just a business trip. No need to put an ankle monitor on me. I'll be right back.
Okay, hold on a second. I got a secret card because just like while you were sort of like, it's like okay, well, I'm going to pull a card just to see, can I get clarification? Is he going to make it? Do you want to see what I pulled?
Sure.
Dun, dun, dun. The double card.
If he's healthy enough.
Yeah, they're attached to him. They're peas in a pod.
If basically, I think if they can get him out, they will do it.
Yes,
that's where I go with it. So when he doesn't make it, you guys are wrong. It's like probably they just couldn't get him out. I think and we'll probably never really find out if he actually tried to. Maybe somebody will have a tell-all book or something like that, or maybe court records will be out there because I'm sure this would be part of charges. Oh, by the way, he tried to flee the country, type of thing. Well,
yeah.
Will we ever find out? Will we ever find out? Learn to live with disappointment.
Yes, indeed.
We'll probably never find out.
All right.
I think that what that is, you guys were right, but you're never going to know about it in this lifetime.
Sucks to be you.
Yeah, when you have your life review, we'll let you know.
Yeah, you can ask that question.
Take your ego and shove it up your you-know-what.
So if you like this, give us a thumbs up. If you really like it, subscribe and hit the bell. We'll wake you up at midnight.
Yep. And again, entertainment purposes only. Purely speculation of 2 guys reading tarot cards. But hey, you know what? We try and provide insight, and we do pretty darn well.
We've been known to be right once or twice.
Once.
So thank you for watching. Leave a comment. I'll read it, and I will respond as appropriate.
All right. Take care, everyone. We'll catch you on the next video.
Bye.